Before we start, I just want to mention that I have been considering Lilith a fallen angel this whole time. The thing is, she might not be. In Jewish folklore, at least I think that's where this comes from, Lilith was created to be Adam's wife, like Eve, but she refused to be with him. So God kicked her out of Eden and sent her to hell, where she became the mother of the succubi and incubi. I assume Adam then gave up that rib to force Eve to stay with him. And then they both fucked up everything because they ate a fruit. Yeah. God. Maybe should have made Adam a bit more attractive or something, because your plan B sent the proverbial fish onto land. And we all know what happened after that.
Monkey.
And you know what that means.
Insurance.
And now for something completely different.
Hazbin Hotel and Helluva Boss are the yin and yang of hell. Let me explain. In Hazbin Hotel, we are focused on our main character. No, the other one, Charlie. We know how her family works based on her opening song and one phone call. Also the portraits around the hotel, but nobody appreciates art. We know Lucifer thinks Charlie's a failure. Lilith must be more supportive of Charlie because Charlie keeps calling her, also because of the paintings, but what do they matter? Charlie herself is very energetic and whimsical, expressive, and an optimist. Further artwork by Vivzi and the team portray Lucifer and Lilith as being head over heels in love with each other. How sweet. Now love your daughter.
Meanwhile, at the Legion of Doom.
Stolas is a powerful prince with a wife and daughter. Stella is very prim and proper, at least in public. We really don't know much about her except she and Stolas probably don't get along the way people in a loving relationship would. She does like tea parties, I guess. As for her relationship with Octavia,
I don't know.
the only time we see them together is in portraits. Octavia is melodramatic, unexpressive, pessimistic, and an introvert. Stolas himself is very expressive when he talks to Blitzo, at least on screen. His behavior towards his wife is very unemotional, and he appears to not be very aggressive in his defense when she confronts him about his imp diddling. Always apologetic and dismissive. He loves his daughter more than anything and would do anything for her. Even if one of those anythings is completely misunderstanding her interests and carrying her along on a very one-sided family trip to Lululand. Where, honestly, she could have been seriously hurt, or even killed, though she would have gotten over being dead. Happens all the time, except when. Yes. That. Are you seeing why I called this a dichotomy? The members of both families seem to be the opposite of their counterparts. Lilith and Lucifer are madly in love, Stella and Stolas are definitely not. Charlie is an energetic ball of sunshine and happiness, and Octavia is goth AF. Charlie's dad is more distant while her mom is somewhat more supportive. Stolas is very supportive of his daughter while Stella seems to be the more distant one. There are some aspects of this dichotomy that go further than the characters themselves though. Like the storytelling itself. The main focus for Hazbin Hotel is the protagonist, Charlie. The main character. The main character, Helluva Boss, however, is focused on Blitzo and IMP, while Stolas and his family are mere side characters. There's actually a lot of story being told about Stolas and his family behind the scenes. Not in the show itself. That's a subject I touched on in the past. For fans who only ever watched the show, Stolas and his family get more attention than you would expect from side characters. For 2 whole episodes, all we knew about Stolas, from the show alone, was that he was a big bird demon who had the hots for Blitzo. But then episode 2 rolled around and bam! Everyone suddenly realized just what his deal was. He became more than a one-dimensional joke character. His entire hidden motivation was revealed in one song. It's beyond deep. It's like a life story. That's way too deep for one song.
I get it!
Then episode 3 came, and Stolas was nowhere to be found. It might have given a sense of curiosity as to what he was up to. He and Blitz still goofed off in the time between episode 2 and 3. Don't worry. We wanted more Stolas. The episode was great. I'm not saying it wasn't. Luna Uwu X3 Snuggle Wuggle and all that shit. But I have a feeling this was intentional. It gave the audience an urge to see Stolas again. When they do show him again, you can bet the investment into him and his family will be even greater than before. By the way, there's more than a strict dichotomy between the two shows. There's also a lot of parallels. Charlie, she wants to redeem damned souls to stop the exterminations. Stolas, he wants to protect his daughter from the inevitability of Armageddon. Charlie, first relationship that was most likely arranged didn't go so well and is now in a homosexual relationship that her parents might not like as much. Stolas, his marriage isn't going great and is now in a homosexual relationship that his wife definitely hates, and his peers might find undesirable.
Fourth, alien seeks to establish his power on planet, okay. Infanto ray, weapon to render Earthlings, hey, okay.
Meta Man, Express Elevator, Diner Guy, Snag on Takeoff, Splashdown, sucked into a vortex.
I think you get the point. The two series seem to be, try to stay with me here, similar in how they're different. They are not parallel, but perpendicular. Different, but still bound together by one key point. You know what that means, right? It means that the stories are bound to intersect with each other.
And that means one thing.